If your OKRs feel more like a wish list than a strategy, then this is the part you are missing. Today I'm going to show how to break down and prioritize key results so to actually hit your goals, not just write them down. I'm doing this two-part mini-series to figure out for myself what OKRs are and also to see them, how we can actually use them to set goals that actually work. Hello, I'm Zhenya, I'm ex-Guardian information designer, PhD and a project manager. I record my journey of trying to figure out Google Sheets and to find solutions to some of the crucial things that help sort out. This is the part 2 of the second part. If you missed the first part, look at it here, and in the second part we're going to look at the hardest and most interesting part of OKRs, right? How do we rank the key objectives using impact, urgency, and effort? How do we sort objectives by priority, and how do we balance our workload between quarters, and how do we understand which are the most important ones? I'm taking inspiration from this video recorded 12 years ago by Rick Lowe, well, he's working from Google, but also he bases his speech on the people who developed this framework at Intel. And essentially, we're going to be looking at this part here. So in the first part, we have already developed this basic objective and broken it down into key results. And we found out how we can grade them so that we can see how they roll up to the main objective. And we took the example of this Japan trip, and we have these 5 key results that we're kind of working towards in this quarter, and then how it rolls up to the completion of the main task. And we use a very simple average formula for that, and maybe later on we figure out what could be the better way of doing it. But this also seemed to show the progress. We've also looked at semaphore system, which allows us to maintain and monitor the tasks to see how they are tracking, and we found out how to mark some of them as done. So now the most exciting part is that obviously we don't have only one objective per quarter. That would be really nice, but unfortunately we don't have this luxury, and usually there's more of them and key results keep on piling up. There's like 4 or 5 key results per each objective, and things become a bit more tangled. So how do we actually tackle that? So before we go into the multiple objective thing, it's quite useful to look at the actual ranking. So the ranking is the concept that kind of allows us to think which objectives are, or which key results are the most important ones. And this is based on the 3 factors: impact, urgency, and effort. So each of those is graded on a scale of 1 to 5, and then the ranking then gets calculated based on this formula. So we take impact multiplied by 3, then plus urgency multiplied by 2, and then minus effort. And the reason we multiply this by different weights is because we need to get more weighting to specific things here. So impact, we get more weighting to impact, and we get a bit also push up a little bit of the grade to the urgency, and then we subtract effort from that. So if we say that this thing, for example, booking at least 2 cultural experiences, this ceremony is like the complicated one, we put 5, but I would say probably complete basic Japanese language course to me. So I would put 5 as an effort. Urgency, it's not that urgent, maybe not 1, but maybe I'll put it as 2. And then impact is how much it's going to influence the whole outcome of the objective. So that's probably if you're talking about Japan, probably it's going to be a 5 or 4. And then we see that the rank of this key result goes quite high. So which means it levels up, and it kind of tells us that we could actually focus on it a bit more. And this is how impact, urgency, and effort work. And there's actually another framework which is called RISE sometimes, and it would be useful to know for people who work in a corporate, because it's more about organizational. And also this talk that I'm referring to, the talk by Claude, is also quite a lot of it deals with the corporate sphere, but I'm not touching on it right now, because we're only talking about personal OKRs, so we're not really worried about other parameters that RISE framework takes into consideration. But I'm gonna put a link to it so that you can look at it. It's quite a useful thing to know. So that's about ranking through impact, urgency, and effort. And at this point, I have to say, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, push the like button, and that will help the YouTube algorithm to push these videos a bit further along the line. Meanwhile, we have to look at the most juicy part, which is this. And don't be super intimidated by it, but essentially this is a slightly different thing that I want to walk you through right here, and which is essentially decoupling objectives from the key results. Yeah, so let's see how it's getting done. File, new spreadsheet. In this case, it doesn't have to be completely new, because we already did this beginning of the demo in the first part of the video, so go ahead and look at it. I'm gonna place a link, but we're gonna need that same thing here. So we're gonna have our one objective, yeah. And first thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place these 3 friends we just met, rank, impact, urgency, and effort, to the left between the semaphore and the actual key results. Right there. We're gonna make this extra column super thin, so that it serves as a break between those. So now we have the rank, we have urgency and effort right there. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the legend for now, because we already know what the semaphore signs mean. Okay, now imagine we have more objectives coming in. Not only I want to go on a trip on Japan, which is already a big thing, but I have another 3 things. Yeah, I also want to improve my physical fitness, I want to build a personal portfolio, and I want to create a financial buffer, which are all quite reasonable things to do. However, instead of placing them here, and each of them obviously is going to have also up to 5 key results. So instead of placing them like this, I would propose you consider placing them instead on the right there, because then what this would allow you to do, it would then help you to, you can just remove it from here, place objectives in the order of priority here, right? So that you can see which ones of them leftmost are the most important ones. And then those ranks that roll up the completion of the goals, they could go underneath of each of those. And obviously these are the completion of the key results. They would go, so this column would all be about Japan trip. This would be about improving physical fitness. This one is going to be building a portfolio. This one is going to be about creating financial buffer. And then we would add the many other key results, right? So here I pasted many of them, yeah. So there will be some of them. Travel days Japanese. So these are from Japan. Go to the gym, complete. This is going to be my personal fitness. Fitness. Case studies about my portfolio. Launch contact form, CEO, share work, and these tasks are going to be about my financial buffer. And I also have some goals. So I need to fill out this even if there's going to be zeros, so that we have some sort of completion grades on top. Paste them right here. So now I have all of this, and if I don't have, I put a 0, because then it will allow me to use this formula, which is essentially this one, yeah? So it's still going to be average, and it's going to be average that takes all the cells. And this one takes all these cells, and this one takes all these cells. This one. So now, and it's important to like have the numbers here, because one good function that it serves is that it allows you to see which of the key results corresponds to which objective when it rolls up. Right, and then what it actually gives you then is that obviously it allows you to see the grades, but also it allows you to add the quarters as horizontal divisions. So for example, this is going to be quarter 1. Key results can go here. Objectives no longer here. This is, and below we're going to have quarter 2. Yeah, so, and what this allows you to do is that if you see that some tasks are in the red, and I usually use semaphore by just copying icons. And when you download the template, you should be able to do it all. So when you see that there are other tasks, for example, which are in the red, and I know that I'm super overwhelmed already, it's good. I know that clause says you should finish all your objectives in 1 quarter, but I know that it's often quite not a very realistic thing to do. So if you see that some of the objectives or some of the key results are not rolling up, or you don't have time to do them this quarter, then you can rearrange them as you would do with like a backlog of your tasks. So that you will know that they're still there, they're still contributing to your overall score, because it captures everything, but you can balance your workload a little bit more effectively. And that's main things that I wanted to say about it. I'm gonna link here to the part 1 of this mini-series. Please post comments down below about anything else you want me to figure out. Please like, subscribe if you find this content useful, and see you soon. Please go to my website, leave your email so that I can message you when I have all these templates as free downloads. See you.